For the first time in its history, Australia will have a legislated emissions reduction target enshrined in law, after the federal government's climate change bill passed through Parliament. The bill passed the Senate with 37 votes to 26 on Thursday afternoon, with amendments from independent Senator David Pocock, before being passed by the House of Representatives hours later. Under the legislation, which still needs royal assent before it officially becomes law, will codify a greenhouse gas emissions reduction of 43% by 2030, compared to 2005 levels. It also enshrines net zero emissions by 2050. Read more. Climate change aggravates more than half of known human diseases, study claims. Minister for Climate Change and Energy Chris Bowen said the legislation sends a message to the world. The passage of the climate change legislation sends a message to the world that Australia is serious about driving down emissions, and serious about reaping the economic opportunities from affordable renewable energy, Minister Bowen said. Legislating these targets gives certainty to investors and participants in the energy market and will help stabilize our energy system. It also strengthens transparency and accountability through the annual climate change statement and will ensure public debate informs government decisions. Read more. What countries produce the most greenhouse gas emissions? The move has been welcomed by several groups, including the Business Council of Australia, Australian Council of Trade Unions and the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The federal government vowed to take action on climate change as a key promise in the lead-up to the election. The bill passed through the lower house with a number of amendments last month, after the Greens and Teal Independents supported the bill. Read more. Pocock scolded for describing arguments against climate science as bullshit. Key crossbenchers said at the time the bill doesn't go far enough in terms of emissions reductions but agreed to vote to move the debate along and give businesses more certainty around clean energy investments. The legislation will update Australia's climate obligations under the Paris Agreement, committing to a 43% emissions reduction by 2030 and net zero by 2050. It hands authority back to the Climate Change Authority to monitor Australia's progress. It also requires the Minister for Climate Change to report annually to Parliament on Australia's progress towards these targets.